What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and ladies? Every Thursday at 6:30, we do a live stream, a panel of great guests. I got two extra people tonight. Not extra people, but two different people. I want to change it up a little bit, and I'm streaming on multiple platforms. I said, forget it. I might as well try it tonight. What do I got to lose? Just like Donald Trump said to black folks, what do you got to lose? They probably messing with you anyway. There's only 355 people watching on YouTube. But we're gonna still get into it anyway. What else I'm gonna say? I'm on Facebook, I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Rumble, and shout out to my people on Rumble. Rumble is getting ready to, I ain't gonna say that because then they'll be kicking me off here, but I really like Rumble. I think I'm gonna start doing some exclusive stuff on Rumble. And shout out to the Rumble rants. And I think it's like super chats on YouTube. So the Rumble rants, if y'all want to give some Rumble rants, I will receive those in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. But let's get to this subject matter. I'm trying to wait for all the guests to get in. They got the stream key late, given the fact that I'm always late to my own stuff. And then also we kind of had some trouble with it. But I'll start this off with just a little commercial. If you haven't got my book, Being Black and Blue, Being a Black Cop in America Under Siege, make sure you get this book. It's on Amazon. We already rated pretty high on Amazon. Also, you can get merch. Discount code is keep it 100. Get 20% off the entire store. So I'm gonna pull in my two guests because I don't want y'all. I know y'all don't want to just hear me. So I'm gonna pull in my two guests. Oh, the third one just came. All right, we got Joel in the house. So I'm gonna give him a chance to set up and get it right, and then we're gonna roll. But hit the like button, hit the like button, hit the like button. I really think that me live streaming on a whole bunch of different platforms probably messed it up, but it don't matter. We finna go for it anyway. All right, up first, my boy ABL on a whole bunch of different platforms. What's up, ABL?
Everything's good, man. Good to be here.
Cool. I hear a little feedback, but I don't know if that's you or me, ABL. Let's see who else. We got my boy Greg in the house.
What's up?
What's up, Greg? Black conservative perspective in the house. All right, man. All his videos just killing, man. I be looking at his stuff like, God dang, he got more views than me. God dang.
I don't even look at the views, man.
You don't look at it no more? Joe Davis in the house, man. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, Brandon? How you doing, brother?
Doing well. All right, man. So we can get started on this, man. I wanted to start out by saying Joy Reid is an absolute nut. And I don't know if you guys have seen what she said, but she criticized Elon Musk and made the statement, the ignorant statement of saying that he's a freeloader and that he doesn't pay his fair share of taxes. And I know you guys probably have commentary on that. So ABL, I'll let you go first. Did you see the video?
I've not seen it actually.
I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it for y'all first because you gotta see this to believe it. She is the dumbest person on planet Earth. And I couldn't believe she said this, man. The smug nature of these people is just beyond me. So let me go on. I had purposely retweeted it so y'all could see it. There she go. There that crazy woman here. All right, here we go. All right, I got the sound on full screen. Let me screen share. I got cups in there. I should be ashamed of myself. Let's see. Screen share. Boom. Boom. Here she go. Listen to how brain dead she is. I think, is that my computer with a little feedback? It probably is. All right, roll the film.
Elon wasn't happy, so he did what he always did and stomped his little feet and insulted Senator Warren, calling her an angry mom and referring to her as Senator Karen. So for so many reasons, being a freeloader and a selfish and disrespectful one, and for misappropriating Black vernacular for misogynistic purposes, Elon Musk is the absolute worst. Meanwhile, Senator Warren has better things to do than fight with Junior Birdman on Twitter.
Yeah, more like better things to do, like faking like she's an Indian. But I want to pull up another part. Let me see if I can do this in one swoop. I want to go to Elizabeth Warren. Let me see. Let me pull this real quick so I don't mess nothing up. I want y'all to see what Elizabeth Warren. I should have had this already prepared.
Oh, it's all good, man. We build it as you fly it. Build it on the fly.
That's how we do it. Let's see. Elizabeth Warren. It must be her other page because she wrote to him. and got blasted. Let me
Oh,
see.
yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
heard about
find it.
this.
Yeah, she said something about because he made Man of the Year, and she wrote on here. I'm gonna find it. There you go. All right, let me pull it up. Boom, 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 boom. Big enough for everybody to see it. All right, let's go back to that. Okay, I'm on it here. Boom, boom. Okay, so let me do full screen because I hate not having a full screen. All right, so Elizabeth Warren, who's out of her mind, she said, let's change this rigged tax code so that the person of the year will actually pay taxes and stop freeloading off everyone else. And my boy Elon Musk, he couldn't help himself. He said, and if you open your eyes for 2 seconds, you'll realize I will pay more taxes than any American in history this year. And then he says, don't spend it all in one place. Oh, wait, you did already. And then he said, stop projecting. And this is an article from Fox News. It said Elizabeth Warren is a fraud. Heard lies about being a Native American. And then he said, you remind me of when I was a kid and my friend's angry mom would just randomly yell at everyone for no reason. Now, think about this for a minute. This got 13,000 retweets and 126,000 likes. This one got 7,000 retweets. This one has 12 and 15,000 retweets, which is way more than the retweets that she got on her original post. So now that you've seen that, what are your thoughts on the foolery of Elizabeth Warren?
Okay, now to Pocahontas, right quick, to her, I mean, they're just pretty much repeating the party line, this whole thing about taxes. That's the dumbest thing, though. But people think that, though. They think because Tesla may receive some tax incentives or tax breaks, they think Elon Musk does not pay taxes, which is dumb. First of all, Tesla pay plenty of taxes. People don't understand, like regular people that just get a W-2 and whatnot, which is normal, just totally fine. They don't understand the way taxes really work. We're talking about super big, crazy, ridiculous $1 trillion money. They don't understand it. They don't understand how much taxes a business pays, how many fees and regulations and EPA and this organization and that organization and lawyers and all kind of stuff they got to pay for, all kind of overhead they got to pay for to keep their business running. They don't understand that world at all. So when they see something about a federal tax break, they don't understand how much taxes are actually paid, right? And they don't understand how much taxes Elon Musk pays. They don't understand what capital gains is, and they don't understand what unrealized capital gains is. They're trying to do that right now, talking about if you have Bitcoin and the price or the value of your Bitcoin went up in a certain year, you got to pay tax on the difference, even if you didn't realize it. Meaning, even if you didn't cash out, you still got to pay the difference. It's like, why am I paying the difference between the value increase if I ain't even cashed it out? It's just sitting over there. See, stuff like that, people don't understand. They don't get it. Like he said, I'm going to pay more taxes than any American in history this year, right now. And they keep trying to raise taxes year after year after year after year. That people don't understand. They don't understand what a profit margin is. They don't understand how Walmart has like a 3.5% profit margin at best. Some have lower than that. They don't get it. So people like Pocahontas and Joy Reid with the funny wigs, they're playing on they're playing on the ignorance of the average American person rather than trying to educate, which is terrible.
Yeah, 100%. Greg, what you got?
Yeah, I mean that's basically my take. But you know what really bothers me is, like ABL said, is that they're playing off of people's ignorance. Okay, because most people aren't really all that financially literate, so they don't really understand capital gains taxes and how it works. When they say Elon Musk doesn't pay taxes, they talk about federal income taxes, and there are some years that he just hasn't paid any because, well, he really didn't have any income, and most of his income is derived from the fact that he has most of his net worth in Tesla stock. And they try to equate income and net worth, and they're just not the same thing. Okay, like ABL said, when the value of Tesla stock goes up and you have not actually sold any shares, that's not actual real money, right? That's just the value on paper of the stock, but that goes up and down, that fluctuates. Okay, so when Elon Musk actually sold this year, he sold about $20 billion worth of Tesla stock almost. Now, this man is literally on the hook. I was reading an article today that he might have to pay about $13 billion in taxes. Okay, while they're sitting here talking about you don't pay any taxes. And what really frustrates me is, like, if you don't know this, if you don't understand how this works, why are you in Congress? Right? Why are you in Congress if you don't understand how it works? If you do understand how it works, then you're literally just trying to play your audience. You think your audience is ignorant, and tax the rich is nothing but a rallying cry. And what's funny is how these people, like Bernie Sanders, for example, when he did a Fox News town hall, and Brett Baer asked him, like, you know, you're a millionaire, right? And you took advantage of Trump's tax cuts. I think he paid like a percent of like 25% or something like that, income taxes. And Brett Baer was like, so why didn't you pay more if you feel like millionaires and billionaires should pay more? And Bernie Sanders was like, well, I paid what I owed. And I'm like, that's literally what Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk are doing. They're just paying what they owe, right? So it's like, you're literally criticizing people for the exact same things that you do. Okay, like if nobody's gonna pay more in taxes than they actually owe, and they're trying to act like Elon Musk is like cheating the IRS, and I'm like, okay, if he's actually cheating the IRS, why does, and it's an open secret, right? Like you guys say, he needs to pay his fair share. Why don't they just audit him and get the fair share, right? But they never do that because the man is actually paying his fair share. Like they have an army of tax accountants, right? Lawyers, wealth advisors that literally do all this stuff for him. Okay, and again, this is one of the most frustrating things I've like seen in my life, because I hate when progressives talk about tax the rich and then they start talking about capital gains and they start proposing crazy proposals like what, you know, ABL was talking about when it comes to like trying to tax unrealized capital gains, which is literally the stupidest thing I've seen in my life. And you know, again, that's just my opinion on it. And I got a whole lot that I think about that, because I used to work in the financial services industry, so I know how this stuff works. And it's just like, when they talk about it, I'm like, you guys are just so ignorant. Like you literally know nothing.
Yeah, and then before Joe go, I wanna let the audience know is that Tesla has employed around 70,000 people. They've got they added 20,000 more jobs to the job market this year. And I looked at their financials and how they pay, the way they pay out their staff. And you got to think, because I have a company too. And so the people have no idea that when you have people as employees, you have to pay payroll tax as a company. And so these people, 70,000 people that work for Tesla has to pay payroll tax for those individuals. And there's a profit loss for Tesla as a company. And then Elon Musk has his own income that he pays taxes on, depending on how he has a structure. And I'm pretty sure it's a C Corp. But, you know, that's the way it works for me as well. Like I have a certain net income that comes in. Then you got to take away all the business expenses. Then you got to take away all the employee expenses. And then if you have people as employees, you got to pay for their payroll tax. You got to pay for like a workman's comp type thing in case they leave. It's all kind of stuff that you have to pay. Now, I don't deal with that. I let my accountant do all that stuff. But there is, you know, a lot to go into this. And 70,000 people paying taxes on making roughly $50,000 a year. That's an average. That, you know, I did the average. It was like 35 to 120 or something like that, or 200K a year. That was the range. So I say right in the middle is somewhere at 50,000, you know, give or take. And when I was making 50,000 as a police officer, I was paying like $4,000 a year in federal tax. I think somewhere around there. You add that up, 70,000 times like $4 or $5,000. That's like $200 million in taxes. Like, I don't want to hear that fair share bull crap. Joe, what you got?
I agree with everything what the fellas were saying about, and you as well, about the taxes. I mean, when you own your own company, it's a lot that you have to look into. You got profit laws, you got profit gain, you got all this stuff to look into. And I think that when I hear Joy Reid and people like this is what they do to try to, you know, they say perception is everything. This is their perception of, let me go ahead on here and placate to my audience, knowing good and blame well that Elon Musk is a billionaire. This man gonna pay way more money in taxes than any of us will ever dream of. But if I act like that, he's out here just like the rest of us trying to hustle the system, then I can make them feel like that I'm a part on their side. When in reality, they're not, because the first time any of them get any tax breaks, what they gonna do? They're gonna take advantage of it. I ain't heard no one yet that has money that says, I'm not taking this tax break. I don't want to look like that I'm taking advantage of America. Nobody says that. I ain't met a person yet. I know you're not gonna do it, Mr. Tatum. I know you're not gonna do it, ABL. Greg, I know you ain't gonna do it, and I know I'm not gonna do it. That's just the American way.
100%. The audacity of these people, man, it's crazy. They work for these billion-dollar companies. Joy Reid works for a billion-dollar company. And she should understand the way companies work. And like you said, some diversion of taxes, write-offs, incentives, all this other stuff. People should understand that. But they have a vested interest in trying to raise taxes on the middle class, because it ain't about the wealthy. They know the wealthy ain't finna pay that, because there's incentives and they're smart enough. They got a whole team of people. I'm trying to pay the least amount of taxes, humanly possible, legally possible. I got a whole group of people that put together my taxes at the end of the year to make sure I pay as least as possible. I mean, even to the point of saying, look, I'm gonna go and donate or whatever, because there's ways to donate and try to take down your income, or at least make your income lower so you get taxed on a lower amount of money. But that's common knowledge. But these billionaires and billionaires are not going to pay that. The middle class is going to pay it. The people that are not as financially literate, who doing their taxes on what I used to do my taxes on, I forget it. H&R Block, TurboTax. Yeah, I did H&R Block, and then I started doing TurboTax. So you do your stuff on TurboTax and all that stuff, they're gonna hoodwink you. You know what I'm saying?
And if you really want to give to the federal government, you can write a check to them, or they'll cash your check.
Yeah,
they'll cash it and then send you a notice like, "Oh, we didn't get it.
Yeah,
nah, we didn't get that." It's like, "Oh, well, I didn't. It was it's not my account no more. Where it's at? Oh, we don't know where it's at. You got to prove. You got to prove your case, man. Send us a check back." But they'll take your money. So if you really want to, pay your fair share, give more than what you have to give, go ahead. Send them a check for all your money in your bank account. They'll take all your money, and they won't give you no credit for it if you want to.
And when you look at, Thomas Sowell spoke about this when he was evaluating the history of tax cuts and tax raising the tax. And this is why I think politicians are so disingenuous. A lot of times when we cut taxes, more money is sent to the treasury. And what Thomas Sowell says is that's because when people feel like taxes are fair, they're more likely that they're going to pay the taxes. When they start raising taxes to these disproportionate amounts, people start sending their money overseas. They start avoiding taxes. And so when they raise taxes, the people who are very wealthy, they don't pay taxes. And we get less money into the United States government because of that. And then the small people are the ones stuck paying it. But when taxes are reasonable, millionaires and billionaires are going to be more willing to say, okay, that's reasonable if I had to pay 20% versus 60%. I mean, it's not even close. But anyway, I want to jump to another subject. We were talking about the dudes at CNN. I don't know if y'all seen those pedophiles at CNN. I cannot believe, and I hope they don't try to ban me for this. YouTube, I'm just
hey, be careful, because I didn't see anything. I heard some of this, and I'm not going to do it because he was way too graphic.
No, yeah, I'm not. We are in no way, form, or fashion going to talk about exactly what he said, but just know that this is not a leading story on any of the news networks except Fox, that they had individuals working for them that were literally soliciting things from minors. I mean, young kids. And why are they not talking about this in the news? And we can speak to that issue. How is it that the left get away with these things? And if anybody on the right do anything, it can be legal, and they're gonna railroad them. So what do y'all think about the disproportionality of liberals getting away with essentially being Jeffrey Epstein, and it's not the same for conservatives?
I mean, you already know what it is, though. They're gonna circle the wagons around their own. That's how that goes. I mean, the guy in question was a CNN producer, so that's their home team. So when he gets caught up like this, they're not going to cover it. They're pretty much leave it alone, because all it's going to do is make them look bad. Because if they cover it, it's like, okay, where were you guys at when you saw some of these warning signs? How was this guy allowed to be in your network working? And if he's doing that at CNN, well, who else is involved with it? Is it just him? Is it other left-wing kind of networks? How about the political guys and girls that are linked to CNN? How about people like them, like Andrew Cuomo, his brother Chris Cuomo is over at CNN. So how about any of these other political connections? What's going on with that? Did he know anybody else? It's a whole big can of worms that opens up. So they don't want to cover that. Now, if it's about Donald Trump, let's say Trump has a bad golf game, they're going to cover that morning, noon, and night. That's how that whole thing goes. So nah, they don't really want to talk about their own people because that's going to paint them in the bad light. It's not even about him specifically, it's about all of them, the whole establishment. So this guy right here, again, I didn't see anything. I just heard what he was talking about. That guy needs to go in front of a firing squad ASAP.
Yeah, they got him on. If y'all want to watch this on the Tatum Report, we have the article written and we have the actual video from Project Veritas. We'll put that link somewhere in the description section somewhere so you guys can go through and read it. But that's pretty. It's pretty when you listen to it, it's pretty disturbing. And the crazy thing is that how many people are actually involved in stuff like this? You got to think these people are working for major companies and probably getting paid very well. How prevalent is this in our country? We see that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in something way deeper than this. And there was a lot of people in the government and in foreign governments that were implicit in these behaviors. How much of an industry do you guys think that this stuff really is?
I mean, me personally, without getting too conspiratorial here, I mean, I think it's pretty deep. But I think in regards to your question about why, is the mainstream media not talking about it? One of my biggest issues is that we have to dance around this topic. Like the way we're talking about it right now, like we can't really even talk about it like that, right? Because there's no incentive. We all know if we, do a video about this on YouTube, instant demonetization. You know what I'm saying? Like that sucks, because we're supposed to be the alternative media. We're supposed to be the ones that are like, holding mainstream media accountable, but because we're on a platform that essentially adheres to mainstream media, it makes it hard for even people like us to talk about it, right? But it's one of those things that I was listening to a segment on CNN with Don Lemon, and Brian Stelter. They're sitting here talking about, well, why is Fox News talking about Christmas trees being burned and not talking about Mark Meadows' text, January 6th text, right? Like they'll talk about January 6th literally for a whole year as if people actually care about that, when nobody cares about January 6th anymore. It's over. It's done. Trump is out of office. Nobody literally cares, right? But when you have predators working at your network, literal predators, you are silent, but you're trying to criticize Fox News for being silent on something that literally nobody cares about and that has happened almost a year ago. So, I think part of the problem is not just, mainstream media in and of itself, is also, platforms that, don't allow alternative media to hold mainstream media accountable, because there's no real incentive for us to even talk about this stuff, right? We have to dance around this issue. And I think that is really the part that really sucks for me when it comes to this.
Yeah, that's why I jumped on Rumble too, man, because I'm gonna start doing is we have a conversation on here and then we're gonna go to Rumble. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna really have a real conversation, because we have to have an alternative platform for us to be able to talk about this, exclusively, because these are matters in which the American people care about. Now, I'm not gonna say his name. I'll just allude to the interview that Joe Rogan did with a doctor. That was eye-opening for me. I couldn't believe what I had heard. And did you guys see that interview?
Yeah, I heard about it.
It was crazy, man. It was crazy, revealing. And then they took it offline. If you go to start talking about it, they're going to try to get you offline. So YouTube, and I'm not talking about it, okay? People can go look at it somewhere else. I'm not going to talk about it. And it's crazy, because a man that's a verified scientist gave a statement about something that's contrary to the mainstream identity, and it just get wiped off the planet, off the face of the earth. And I think that's scary. People should be able to hear both sides. What do you think,
crazy,
Joe?
I mean, it's like you got doctors. You can't talk about doctors and what they say. It's weird.
When I heard about that situation, man, we broke it down on my channel, but the way I broke it down, I didn't even try to get it monetized because I already knew it was gonna get demonetized. So I'm just on my channel over there. We a little raw, but yeah, I mean, the reason why you don't let nobody, you're not going to hear them talk about it, is because it's their circle. So if it's your inner circle, that's going to put spotlight on what you got going on, that it's going to put a target on your back. So what you do is you act like it's not there. That's why they're not talking about it. They'll never talk about it. I mean, Brandon and ABL and Greg, just like they try to say that they didn't know what was going on with Chris Cuomo's situation, they probably knew something about this producer had some twisted situation going on, because this guy was too open not to. I mean, the way they described in the reports how he would talk to people about what he was doing, somebody knew. This was no hush hush.
Right, 100%. Most of the time in these situations, people know, and they act like they don't know because there's some liability there, but they know what's going on. And I know we can't talk about this one either, but I'm gonna put it up on the screen so people can see it. The Tatum Report got another article out. Adam Schiff and the text message between Jim Jordan and Mark Meadow. This is pretty troubling, man. I know we can't talk about it here because they're gonna have something to say, but this is a legitimate investigation and found that there was some doctoring in documents from a person who's in Congress. I don't understand how people are not going to jail. I don't understand. And I was on the Candace Owens show the other day, and they brought up Hillary Clinton again. And I said, I do not understand how Hillary Clinton is not in jail over the stuff that she's done. She had a server in her basement. I can't let it go. I said at my funeral, I want somebody to come up there and say, you know, Brandon was a good man. I love him. And Hillary Clinton should go to jail because there's no way you should have a server in your house, unbeknownst to the United States government, as you are working for the government, sending and receiving classified information. She didn't even lose her security clearance. She later ran for president. I don't understand. They delete emails. They do all kind of Peter Strzok. Remember Peter Strzok, I think his name was, and Lisa Page, and all of these people were conspiring. They got messages where they were in the government conspiring against Trump, then President Trump. How is this? How are people not going to jail? It's beyond me.
But you know what? To speak on that right quick, it's just politics though, because when you at a high level like that, you could kind of do whatever you want to a certain extent. Like, remember Dick Cheney shot that guy in the head with a bird shotgun, shot him in the head, and then the dude went on TV and apologized to Dick Cheney. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. Like, what? I saw that. I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. That politics, man, you could do whatever you want. He apologized to Dick Cheney for getting shot. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, man. You know, wasn't my straight up. And I saw that. I'm like, you know what? And then I was reading this story with this dude. He had a bunch of money too. He was a Canadian, but lived in the US. He tried to kill his wife, and they found out. But he had connections. He had money. He only got like 18 months in the penitentiary for hiring a hitman who was an undercover cop. So depending upon who you are, if you got them political connections, you could do whatever you want. And the same thing, if you're a political enemy, it doesn't matter what you do. You could jaywalk across the street. You might get sent to the penitentiary for doing that.
And that is what's happening to Julian Assange, right? They're trying to get him back in the United States, trying to extradite him back for, you know, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, you know, him leaking the war crimes that we committed in Iraq and all this other stuff back, you know, during the Iraq war. This dude is basically about to, you know, take himself out because he's so mentally like messed up from the about to be extradited to the United States because we want to off him, right? Like we want to take him out, right? And somebody like him, okay, that does something like that a lot of people see as, you know, patriotic, right? Free speech, okay, freedom of press, because he went against the establishment. Yeah, that guy got to go, right? According to them. But see, they can, you know, do all this stuff all day, right? And like, you know, Brandon was talking about with Hillary Clinton and all this other stuff, and there's no consequences. I was just reading about yesterday, Nancy Pelosi, insider trading in Congress, right? Where, you know, there's literally the Stock Act signed in 2012 by Obama, where they're supposed to report on their late trades. These people are not even reporting on their late trades. So, I mean, and there's no consequences. Like there's literally no public record. I don't even think there's a private one of congressmen who have actually violated the Stock Act, who have, you know, reported their trades late. And if there's no public record of you actually violating this stuff, then there's how are you getting punished? There is no punishment. So the rules are there on the books, but they never enforce them against themselves. And to me, in my opinion, that really just kind of goes to show there's really only one party in the United States, right? That's the establishment. There's an illusion of two parties, right? Now, there's some things that make, you know, voting Republican, Democrat, you know, worthwhile in terms of, you know, both parties, whatever, right? But for the most part, they're the same, okay? And you really see that when it comes to certain issues where they're just kind of all on board with protecting each other's, you know, corruption and stuff like that. So, yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna add on to that right quick. as far as a one party thing, I think you could look at it like there's a federal party and then there's a local. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. You're right about that.
Let me. Somebody had something they want to say to you, ABL.
What's
I
up?
put it in the comment section. It says, ABL, I need to debate with you the next time you go live about your defense of Judge Michelle and her bigoted comments. What the F, bro? Is that the lady that said the N-word?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bro,
Okay.
let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that. So let me
Go ahead.
just tell the story right quick so we can be on the same page. Now, Michelle, I think her name is what was her name?
Forget her name. I know we'll find it out.
Odenay. Michelle Odenay.
Odenay,
She's in Lafayette, Louisiana. She's a judge, a circuit judge in Lafayette. Now, there was a video of her talking about N-word this, N-word that, because she was watching the tape of it's like a Ring camera or something. I think it might have been her sons, and they were catching this black guy that had tried to break into their house and or car. So that they caught him in the act doing it. Her sons wrestled him to the ground, and they were trying to hold him for the police. They called the police. The police got there. They picked him up. He's in jail right now, waiting trial for the burglary. He's been charged, and he probably would get convicted because they caught him red-handed on tape. So during the tape, they're saying, "Oh, look at the N-word. I got him. There's the N-word." Now, personally, I don't use no racial slurs. I don't even curse. So I'm not going to be like, yeah, you know, it's great to say the N-word. That's not me. However, if you break into my car and the N-word slip out, am I going to be crying tears for you? Really? At that point, when you do something like that? Or how about this? How about if the guy would have walked across that gun line, across the front door of your crib, you must want to be dead right now. So if he was to get killed for coming into the crib, that wouldn't be no problem, right? Oh, but because they caught him without hurting him and called the police, that's worse than killing them. I just don't understand. So that was my whole point. It was like they're trying to say she's racist, all this and that. She could be, but can you really blame her for saying? Can you blame her for saying something like that at that moment where the guy's breaking into her car and they catch him?
Yeah, bro. My thing is this, and I'm gonna shoot it to you, Greg Raft. I said it. My thing is this. I feel like I don't know why it seems like minorities are pitched this way or that they feel this way, but they're represented this way. It's the weakest people on planet Earth. Black people say the N-word all day long, every day, even when they mad at each other. People be acting like it when you're doing a drive-by and you're like, oh, in this, in that. You think that's a sign of endearment? No, they mad. That's a derogatory word. Black people can use the N-word in a derogatory manner against other black people. And this white lady says the N-word, and people are all, she's racist. No, I don't care what she say. I want to know what she does. You know, is she's showing racial bias against people in her professional life.
Right.
Because you can feel some way and you can think some way, that's fine. But are you implementing that in your personal life? Greg, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give a little bit of pushback because I think that first and foremost, I really don't care that she said the N-word. I really don't care what people say, honestly, slurs, whatever, right? And that really wasn't my problem as much as it was the fact that she didn't just own up to the fact that she said it. Like when you actually listen to the video, they didn't just slip. Like they say that all the time, okay? Like that the way they was saying it, like come on, they say it all the time, and that's fine, right? That's their private house, so they want to do that, whatever, right? I really don't care. Right. But the thing is, okay, is that like you don't come out here and say, well, I don't remember me saying it. I was sedated. I'm like, bro, that's not like you were not sedated. You definitely was aware and you said it. So just admit that you said it. Okay. Like my boy in Alabama, I forget his name, but his name's like Tommy something. Okay. He called a woman during a city council meeting the N-word. And he said, well, I was just repeating what somebody else said. When he went on the news and talked about it, he was like, yeah, I said it. I'm not apologizing for it. And I'm going to run for mayor. Right? And I was like, hey, that's my, hey, I'm like, hey, I kind of jive with that because at the very least, you're acknowledging what it is. Okay. Just acknowledge what it is, own up to it. It is what it is. Now, with that being said, there was a Biden U.S. attorney, Rochelle Rollins. She went on this like huge anti like white like rant, okay, about white people and stuff when reporters showed up to her house. And to me, it indicates when you say stuff like that, that you have some type of like racial bias. Okay, you feel some type of way. And I feel like for somebody like her, it's like, well, I'm not sure if I'm comfortable with having somebody like her in the criminal justice system. And I would have to apply that same standard to this judge, where it's like the fact that you said that, again, I don't personally care, but at the same time, it's like the way you said it and the fact that I know you say it all the time just based off how you say it, I think that you probably got some racial bias going on. Now, should they be forced to resign? No, I don't think they should be forced to resign. But I think from a moral perspective, they should probably resign. And I would apply that to both of them, because I think that at some point is either okay, right? It's okay to be openly racist, right? Or it's not okay. We got to choose, because we live in a time period where it's okay to be racist to white folks because they got power and blah, blah, blah. But it's not okay to be racist to black people. And it's like, bro, you can't have it both ways. You got to choose one. Okay. If we're getting rid of the racist, we got to get rid of all of them. If we, aren't getting rid of the racists and we're letting people, have freedom of speech, then people got to have freedom of speech. That's my position.
Yeah, I agree and I disagree with some of what you said. Most of it I agree with 100%. If people can't own up to it, man, if I mess around and call somebody a name, I said it. I said it. I was wrong, or I don't care. I said it. What you gonna do? You gonna fight me? I said the N-word to a dude on the live stream, and it wasn't a nice one. You know what I'm saying? I threatened him and everything.
I remember that.
I threatened him and everything. And the thing is, I didn't want to go there, and that's not my character. But ain't nobody finna pull that video up on me and say, "Did you say this?" And I'm gonna be like, "Well, no, I was just no, I said every minute. I said I meant it when I said it. I just need to work on not letting that gangster come out." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the only thing is that I agree with maybe that people can. I don't see it being a problem when people investigating and looking into her cases and saying, have she shown racial bias because she made a certain statement?
Yeah.
The thing I disagree with is that I don't know if I automatically believe she's racist just because she used a slur. And that's just the only difference that I have, because just because you say the N-word, does that mean that you racist, or that just mean that that's the word that you say? Because rap music is full of it. People rap along to the same music. When I was growing up, we used to call white people crackers. You know what I'm saying? And I think we were racist. But at the same time, if that's something you grew up saying and you say the word, does that mean that you really hate white people? I mean, I don't know. That's the question. I don't know.
Well, I mean, she was using a hard ER. I mean, she wasn't. I mean, the connotation is like she was saying it in a way that was obviously derogatory. It wasn't like she was saying it with the A and she was, using it in a way that like it was.
White people don't do the A anyway.
It wasn't going to be.
Yeah, they do when they're talking to their friends and stuff like that. They do use the A.
It wasn't going to be endearment. You're talking about a guy that broke into your crib or like,
so,
you see what I'm saying? Because that guy could actually die right there, and it wouldn't be no court case. So I think it's a heightened level of, it's a different situation. It ain't just like somebody comes to your house and you do an interview and you drop an N-words all through it like it's normal. It's a circumstance. So that my whole problem, that's what I'm talking about.
But see, this is the thing that I'm wondering, because I don't know. I've never been around white people that said the N-word ever, but is it vernacular, right? Because black people typically, or Southern people typically, use the A for everything. You my brother, you know what I'm saying? They use the A in the N-word.
Nah, that ER, depending on where you at. I didn't heard the ER.
See,
it ain't no mistake.
Where I'm from.
But what I'm saying is the person that used the ER is the same person that used the A, or they just always use the ER. Or like when you hanging out with somebody, you like, that's my brother. Instead of saying that's my brother, is that the same with the N-word? Would somebody be more comfortable saying, with the A, or saying with the ER? You get what I'm saying?
I think the pronunciation of it isn't as important as the context in which it's said. Like,
right, but I'm saying, would a person in a non-racist way say the N-word with the ER and not try to be negative? You know what I'm saying? Do you think she used the N-word with the A on the end ever? Or do you think she only used it with the ER?
Her kids probably do, but I'm not sure about her.
Yeah, her kids probably, I mean, the way they was talking at the beginning, I think they probably are kind of in touch with pop culture and whatnot. But she definitely uses the ER all the time. But I'm not saying that. Look, I don't know if she's automatically racist. Honestly, again, I don't really care that she uses the word. I really don't. But I just think that because of the way she used it and the way she did it, I think that it's not unreasonable to have questions. Okay, the same reason it's not unreasonable to have questions about, again, a U.S. attorney like Biden's U.S. attorney Rollins that said a whole bunch of stuff that was, anti-white and stuff like that. So, my thing is this, when it comes to the N-word, like, I don't believe in policing it. I honestly don't care. Okay, I really don't, and I just wish people would just, either everybody can say it or nobody can say it. that's just my thing, right? Like, just let it go. Because the thing about the C word, right? I mean, that thing that happened with Asan Abi, Chink Yoga's nephew. You guys familiar with that? He got banned on Twitch for saying cracker, right? Can we say that on this stream?
I don't know. I say it all the time.
Yeah,
YouTube is kind with it. You can say it on YouTube for now.
Yeah, well, YouTube doesn't think it's derogatory. I'm the one that like tries to censor it, but nobody else censors it. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe I'm trying to play it you say. But anyways, he was using it in a way that's obviously derogatory. And he got banned from Twitch, and then he went on this tirade about like, it's not really a slur because, I'm oppressed, and, black and brown people are oppressed, and blah, blah, blah. White people got power. And I'm like, dude, I mean, the way you used it is literally in a way that it's a slur. But see, the difference is that a lot of white people, and this is what I try to tell people about power dynamics, they don't really care, right, about being called a cracker or whatever, right? They don't really care, okay? And when black people care about the N-word, even if you're called the N-word with the ER, that is a sign of weakness, right? That's a sign that you don't have power because you're letting somebody emotionally manipulate you with a word, right? Again, you have to notice how certain people get these special privileges, and that to me indicates that they're weak. Right? The people that you claim have power, they don't respond the same way that you do, right? And that's why they have power, because they're more concerned about what it takes to be, in power rather than trying to be a victim. And I think the way people react to racial slurs, cracker versus the N-word, I think really shows you why certain people get ahead in life and why certain people don't.
I agree with you 20,000%. Like, the N-word don't bother me.
Joe,
I don't care. You can call. Who you talking about? Joe?
Joe was on mute. He was.
Yeah, I think he's talking to somebody
else.
You could call me the N-word. The fact that you disrespecting me is what I get mad at. It's not the fact of what you're saying.
Yeah,
and I think that's the your boy back ABL. This is what he said. You cannot say systemic racism doesn't exist and didn't have people with opinions like that in positions of power, like a judge.
But it goes both ways. I mean, I can say that about Rollins. She's obviously anti-white. I'm not sure if you guys heard that story. I
saw it. Confront that reporter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it goes both ways, bro. Everybody, I mean, look, everybody got some bias, okay? Like, let's be real. Like, everybody got a little bit of, I don't like this person, I don't like that person for whatever reason. Nobody's perfect. So I just hate when people just act like, everybody is supposed to like not have any type of bias or whatever. Everybody's biased. It is what it is. Like, get over it.
But see, the thing about it, how is that systemic racism? I mean, like I was saying in my video, let's do a review of her cases and do it in an honest way. Don't just try to find dirt. Look at it for real. Was it fair? Did it make sense? Is it like the same as other judges or thereabout? Like, was there any person that was treated unfairly? Because the NAACP said, let's vacate all their cases against minorities. I'm like, come on, that's crazy. Look at it, do an honest review if you got a problem, and then see what you find. And you might find that she probably was lenient on some of these black suspects. A lot of these judges will go super lenient. Louisiana, especially, they're getting slaps on the wrist for violent crime. Look at it like that. Don't just think that she's going to be hard on people. Look at it if she's too soft, and then make a rational conclusion at the end of it.
And
well, like
go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, like I want to say with all this about that word, man. I come from the deep South, man, from North Carolina, and this is how my parents always taught. My great grandma always taught me. She said, "There's two people in the world. There's Americans and there's ignorance." And at that time, when that gentleman did what he did, he crossed the line and he became ignorant. And we already know what ignorance means when you placate it to the N word. It's the same meaning. So to me, when this man doing an ignorant action at that time, he deserved to get called what he getting called. Because what if, let's say for instance, they wouldn't have caught this man, and then the judge would have died. Then what we would have said? Then everybody would have been like, oh my God, the judge got killed, blase, blase. Let's try to prosecute it to the fullest of the law. No, I think that she was in her right. She was threatened. She got upset. She acted on her emotion at the time. Because we all say things that we really don't need to be saying when we get upset. Because I've said some racist stuff when I was woke. When I was on that woke mess, man, please. A white guy got around me, I was quick to be ignorant. So, at the end of the day, let's look at the actual action of what the criminal did. This man could have had any kind of intent to do with that judge. Thank God her sons were there to hold him until the police came. And see, and in these cases, if you look at Louisiana stats right now, and shout out ABL, and that's the truth, because I actually researched that today. Yeah, Louisiana is a very relaxed state when it comes to African American people getting in and out of jail. That's why they have repeat offenders going through the system, because somebody like, all right, you did this, we're gonna give you a second chance. And you don't believe me? Look at the numbers versus the white guys that go through the system in Louisiana. Believe me, black folks get a whole lot of freebies versus them, and the statistics shows it. So yeah, man, they can miss me with that.
Yeah, I mean, just because here's the thing. I think that racism is stupid. I can see how people don't like certain people, but does that dictate your actions? Because I ain't gonna lie, man, black folks get on my nerves sometimes, and I don't be wanting nothing to do with black people sometimes. Not all, but I see a group and they acting a fool. Almost every time I go somewhere, black people are acting a fool. But that don't mean that I will treat an individual a certain way, even though I may be biased against these hood rats sagging their pants. And that's not all black people. I'm saying the ones that are acting in this behavior. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be around them. I don't want to be next to them. I don't like nothing to do with no hood stuff. But does that mean I'll treat somebody improperly if given a fair situation? Meaning that when I was a police officer, I couldn't stand people who were hurting kids and all that other stuff, but I treated everybody fairly. But I did have a bias against them, but I never did it in a professional setting. When I'm at home, I talk crazy about them all the time. I talk crazy about it every time I turn on TV. I see a black person do something stupid. I'm like, here we go again. I was just watching fighting in the airport.
Again, that's a new battleground, ain't it? The airport. It's like the UFC ring.
You know what word popped in your head?
Oh, you know what word popped in my head. Right. You know what word popped out of my mouth. I just ain't saying it on live stream. I'm like, here they go again.
Here they go again.
I see a big ball of weave fly down the Concourse A and Hartsfield Jackson. See that right there? That's it. That's what we're talking about right there. If you're just minding your business, everything's all good. It's fine. You're just a regular person. When you get to that ignorant, like you said, Joe, once you get to the ignorant mode, I don't care what color you are. At that point, you're a whole different animal.
Mm-hmm. I didn't say when I grew up, we say the N-word all the time. Everybody, everywhere, every situation. Look at it in NFL. You catch them on the hot mic, they dropping the N-word all day long, every day in the locker room and everything. Does that mean, even when they mad at somebody, they'll say the N-word in a derogatory way? Does that mean that they hate black people? I don't think so. I think that they use that word in anger. And they use that word as a word of endearment. White people probably use the N-word all the time. I don't. If a young dude is listening to rap all the time, I'm not around. White people probably do this in the secret. If two white boys grew up together, college roommates, and they listen to Bootsy and Webby and Lil Wayne and them all day long, you think they ain't? You think they ain't doing the same little man? You know what I'm saying? Do you think they ain't really doing that? And they get around black people and they act like they don't never do it. I doubt it. I be
trolling my white friends, bro. I be telling them like, bro, can you please say it? Can you just say it? Like, can you say it?
Man, you setting them up,
bro. I'm gonna tell you. One time I was out. One with one of my friends. My roommate was white, and we went up to a girl or whatever. And I told her, I said, hey, my roommate, he be calling me the N-word. He said, what's up, man? When I come into the door, she literally looked at him, turned around, and walked away.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, my thing about this is this, right? When white people use the N-word with the A, and people try to act like it's the worst thing in the world, I hate that so much, because I'm just like, they're not even using it in a way that's derogatory. My thing is that it's how you use it and what the intent is. If they're using it in a way where it's like, you know, this is my homie or whatever. First of all, the A and the ER, they're two different words. I don't know why people keep acting like they're the same word. They're not the same word.
I don't know about that. I don't know because
I mean, they're not.
I mean, you know what? I'm gonna prove it though. If a black person gets offended at the N-word being used by a white person, will it matter if it has the A or the ER on the end?
Nope.
Exactly.
It's the way that you used it though. It's
no, but the question was, if a black person is upset at white people using the word, will it matter if it has the A on the end or the ER? Will it matter if they're offended at the word?
I don't know, man, because black
exactly.
I mean, because black people I can use the word in a way that can offend you. You know, like
black though. That's a whole different story because it's culturally acceptable when you black to use it with somebody that's black, but it's
even in a derogatory way.
Yes, it's because you won't be seen as being a racist person. You'll just be seen as being angry,
bro. Black people can be racist against black people, bro. It happens all the time. I mean,
I know that. Like, like I agree with you, but I'm talking about what society says.
Yeah.
I'm talking about how it'll be perceived. If you use it against me, whether it be in terms of endearment or if you're angry at me, it won't be seen as racism. Yeah. Although it can be. But if a white person says it to a black person, it'll be seen as racism. This is why we're having to talk right now. If the judge were black, this would not be a conversation. And you know it. You know it. As I know.
Even if she used the ER.
If she was black, people definitely drop the hard ER for sure. Black people definitely drop the hard ER. When they really are mad at somebody, like they're black, they're like, they'll call them the ER for sure.
Sometimes you just do it because you like, you want to offend somebody. This is the thing that happened to me when I was a cop. I had two people call me the N-word when I was a police officer. Now the question popped in my mind, and shout out to my boy Jericho Green. I see you in the chat. And the point crossed my mind: is this person racist, or they're just trying to get under my skin? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The one guy, we had a person with a knife with a gun at an apartment complex, and we all on the ground with ARs. This fool just walking around willy-nilly. He's just walking around, and I'm like, man, you got to get out of here. Get out of here now. Like, move. You stand in the line of fire, bro. We start shooting out here. You're gonna take one to the head. And he go, you don't tell me what to do, you N-word. And so I'm like, is he racist or is he just mad because I told him to go, kick rocks?
Right.
Then I had another guy who me and him got into it. And I almost, me and him almost had a fight for real. I told him, let's do it. I won't tell nobody. Let's fight. We're on duty. I told my captain and everything. I had to go to counseling for it. But I say, bro, you didn't say it enough. You called me the N-word. Come on around here, so let's throw the hands real quick. And I was wondering when I left that situation, was he racist or was he just trying to say something that he know will make me mad? Because if you want to make a black man mad and you ain't black, say the N-word to him, whether you racist or not, whether you believe it or not. You're going to get under their skin if you say the N-word to them. Hard R, the A, whatever. You can say whatever.
But that's weakness, though. That's weakness. I just see that as weakness.
I agree. It is weak. It is weak. It's just a word.
But we different. That's the thing. We're not the average person in the community.
Right. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When I hear somebody say the word, it does sound weird. Like if I hear a white person say it, like my homeboy still say it. If I hear a white person say it sounds weird to me. Even if I know they just sing along to a song, I'm just like, oh, I don't think he should have said that. You know what I'm saying? So it tells you how subconsciously ingrained it is into your psyche that it's just weird. It just don't sound right coming from a white person.
I'm gonna tell you though, Asian people be lighting it up though. They be loving it. Asian people be loving it. Like I got a few Asian friends, but they use it quite a bit.
You live in another world, bro. I ain't never heard nobody say it except them two white dudes that, like in a setting where I'm face to face with somebody, except the two white dudes that said it while I was a police officer. I've never heard a person say the N-word.
Now, wait a minute. What kind of age we talking? We talking about like Chinese,
Filipino? Bro, I'm talking about Indian. I'm talking about Chinese. Like,
yes.
I just got a whole, like a very diverse friend group. And some of them say the N-word and it's like, they just like, oh, well, I'm a person of color technically. And I'm like, well, hey, I'm not going to police it. I really don't care. But it's weird. It's like, again, it's a weird dynamic. But at the same time, Hispanic people be saying it too.
Oh, they say it.
Yeah. And it's like, okay.
Samoan people say it too. Samoan.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
but they kind of like honorary black. I mean, they might as well be black. They black with wavy hair. I mean,
Yeah.
Where's the line being drawn here? That's my question. That's my problem. Like, what is the standard? There is no standard. Fat Joe, he uses it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like he's
So
what is he, Puerto Rican or something?
Yeah, he Puerto Rican.
but you know what? The thing about people like Fat Joe, I mean, you growing up in New York as a Puerto Rican, you pretty much black.
Yeah.
Right, but you white and you grew up in the hood, they give you a pass. I see it online.
Yeah.
Where some white boys are saying the N-word and they get love from their homeboys and they're like, oh yeah, you cool, you down with us. So it's like, and when I was on a football team, and you got to think it's funny because if any white person would say the N-word, it would have been on. But the Samoan dudes say it all the time, and you like, you're not even from you're not even from the US. You know, I would say the US. You're not from the hood. How you saying it? You from Samoa. You know what I'm saying? How you here acting like you from the hood because you listen to some rap music. But we never really made a big fuss out of it. It ain't like we got on them for it. It was kind of like, all right, we'll give you a pass on that one. You know what I'm
Samoan
saying?
dudes, though, they big. I mean, they huge.
Oh yeah.
Like naturally, you don't really want to mess with them like that.
Do you want to? Is it worth? Is the N-word worth that fight?
They're big and they're agile, so that's gonna be a hard fight, man.
I don't know what it is. You know, people say you ain't born. You know, there's such thing as a person born big boned. But dude, Samoan people that I know, they're like regular people, but with extra stuff on them. Because it's this one dude. He was like
extra stuff.
One of the most athletic dudes I ever seen. And the dude was just as athletic as a skinny dude, but he had legs the size of somebody's thigh. You know, his calf muscles the size of somebody's thighs. He just seemed like he was big bone. You know what I'm saying? You know how somebody say a person just big, this thick, but they're not fat. And I don't know what they be feeding them over there, is it genetic or what, but Samoans are big and athletic. It's different than any other race, in my opinion. Anyway, I could beat that dead horse. What do y'all think about the smash and grabs that are going on? Because I mean, these people are going all around the entire country, and I don't know how prevalent it is. I don't know if it's more prevalent because they play it on TV, or because it's just prevalent in the news, whatever, or is it really they're out here thugging? But every time I turn the TV on, I see them smashing and grabbing these corners. I see them following people home. They pulling people at gunpoint. Somebody was eating at a restaurant, had them at gunpoint. Run the jury, walked out.
Yeah, it was broad daylight too, like 5 o'clock in the afternoon in LA, right on Sunset.
In a full restaurant, bro. It's like other people in there.
Yeah.
And they just pulled up and was like, you know what it is. And they started taking their jewelry off right there at the table. And then walked out like nothing happened. You see people following people home now.
And they going to like upscale places. They're going to the Hollywood Hills. They're going everywhere. They're hitting you in Rancho Cucamonga. They're hitting you in Calabasas. They're hitting you anywhere. And I saw Cully on the Wall put up a video about WAC 100, like a manager, some rappers. He's like blood affiliated over in LA. And he was saying, hey, man, it's dangerous in LA right now. Don't come. Matter of fact, I'm leaving. And you got these gang affiliated guys talking about I'm leaving. You don't want to go there to visit. Not right now. Yeah, Christmas coming up. People out there shopping. Oh, man, if you got any kind of watch, any kind of jewelry, any kind of bag, nice car, you're going to be a target. You could be rich, poor, whatever. You're going to be a target out there. And they're looking for victims. And they're ready to shoot. They don't care. And they're traveling from other parts of the country to go to LA to do it. He was saying, like, it's not even the normal guys. It's not even the gang affiliated guys from LA that's doing it necessarily. You got guys from other parts of the country traveling because they got laws in California where it kind of enables the criminals, where if it's anything below $1,000 as far as retail theft, they're not going to prosecute. And they know the police are being defunded. So it's going to be harder for them to be able to catch them. People ain't really telling too much. There's limited resources in LA to catch these guys. So they pretty much doing whatever they want to do. There it is right there. LA is too dangerous to visit.
I want to play this real quick.
Meet WAC 100. WAC 100 is well known in the hip hop industry. He's a hip hop label executive and a managing director of rappers The Game and Blueface. WAC also has known gang affiliation. He's a hip hop label executive and a managing director of rappers The Game and Blue.
Now, I just want to stop when I saw Blueface here. You see how crazy this is? Our young people they cutting up, boy.
Hey, but you know what?
Go ahead.
The women love him. They love him. He has a harem. A harem.
He got a harem.
You know what a harem is?
No, what is a harem?
A whole bunch of women in his house a rotation, dozens of women.
These women, boy, they daddies. They need their daddy in their life. This fool, I mean, think about it. And this is the whole thing that I talk about. When I was young, this was the man. They ain't want no good man. They want this dog world man that's out here thugging all day with a lot of money in his pocket with no integrity. And then you'll be a good man. I want to get my education. I want to go to college. They don't want you, bro.
Nah, that's boring. That's whack.
And then when they get older and they're a Honda Civic with 200,000 miles on it, they want to come back. They want to come back and find you. I had a girl do me like that. She was like, "Hey, have you ever thought about like if we were like in a relationship?" And I was like, "Girl, are you playing?" Like, I'm offended. You think I'm the sucker that's gonna be with you now? You didn't win a whole football team and basketball team and my homeboy, my best friend.
While we
his brother, girl, you better get away from me. Anyway,
briefly, while we talking about like women and whatnot, I would love to hear your opinion later on the whole fresh and fit thing, because I know you do videos about it. You want to, if you want to talk about it, we don't have to, but I'm just saying. No,
I want to get to that. I want to get to that. Let me play this little clip real quick.
Blueface. Wack also has known gang affiliations with the Blood Gang in California. He doesn't hide it at all.
Let's see. Does he? I thought he had him like talking.
He does talk, but it's kind of a long video. It's like 8 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 8 minutes. So I think y'all get the gist of it. Look like gang members even scared. I had one dude challenge me. B. Tatum, you ain't never in the hood. You ain't come to the hood and let's debate. Some brain dead fake politician said, let's come to the hood and debate. And then the fool sent me a message. Hey, man, it's kind of dangerous out here. I don't feel safe. Like, I'm looking out for your family and my family. Oh. That's why I ain't at the hood. But somehow I'm dumb for not coming to the hood with you and getting shot. Anyway, what were we going to say, Greg, about the fresh and fit? Because them dudes are so fraudulent to me, especially fresh. That dude does not get women like he said.
No,
I'm not a dude with game, right? I was terrified to talk to women all the time, and I got more game than that dude. I would never do the stuff that he does. These dudes are fake gurus, in my opinion. What were you gonna say, Greg?
I mean, I agree with you, man. I just found the whole thing hilarious because I don't really watch it, but I do like check in every now and then because of the drama, just to kind of see what's going on. But like this whole thing started from like do you pay for box and all this stuff, and like them having the seeking arrangement account. And I'm like, at that point, people should have known you have a seeking arrangement account, an account that literally is for paying for women, but yet you're telling people that you don't pay for women, except you have accounts where you actually pay for women. At that point, they should have been just done, right? They should have, the whole thing should have been up at that point. And I guess my thing is that like it's just kind of showing me how you can be so fake, but if the show is entertaining, then it really doesn't matter because it's at the point now where it's like these guys are so slimy that they did something that I think is an unwritten rule on YouTube, right? Where you don't copyright strike people
you don't do that
for using your stuff, right? And when they started doing that, I'm like, bruh, you crossed the line, right? Like it's one thing to be openly fake and paying for women, even though you say you don't, which it is what it is. You do what you got to do to sell your courses. I'm not knocking your hustle, but I'm just saying like, that to me is what really made it. So I'm like, okay, these guys are really, really not good people.
Yeah, fresh and fit. I mean, from the very beginning, I watched them because it's entertaining. They have young women on there. And when I first listened to a couple of them, they were talking about high value men and like all of this stuff that I agree with some of it at first. Cause they get the trashiest women in Miami and that look good, and they bring them on there and they just beat them over the head for 30 minutes to an hour, make them cry and kick them off the show and all of this stuff. And so some of the stuff I agree with, I said, it's interesting. I followed them. Didn't watch number maybe 2 episodes, not even a full, just a clip of it. And then, bro, they start coming out with this fake stuff. Like Fresh, I be watching other YouTubers clown them. Yeah. Fresh, the little dark one, he paid to have an article on Forbes. I didn't even know people do that, but you can pay to have your article presented on like Forbes magazine. You just got to pay enough money. These dudes, and I know how much you make on YouTube, right? So I'm watching these dudes. I see their numbers go up, and I'm like, oh, they must be making some money now. And they got Lambos.
Those, yeah.
And they
Rolex.
doing all this stuff. And I'm like, bro, I know how much money y'all making on YouTube.
Same,
so
exactly.
Don't act like y'all are like this financial gurus and you just have all this money. It's like, bro, you just making a lot of money in a short period on YouTube. But the part that killed them just recently was Fresh again. He was dating some thought that these dudes, let me tell you, I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna pass the mic. These dudes are preaching. One of them said he liked to take women's souls. Left foot. The dirtiest, dustiest woman won't go on a date with him. But
burning desire.
I create burning desires in women. You like, bro, ain't no burning desire for you, bro. Even on a drunk woman in a club ain't finna go home with you. And he had this girl, and DJ Academic just destroyed them. I felt bad for him.
Yeah.
He had his girl next to him. He go, how did you meet her? Because they claim they got so much game that they get these women entranced into being with them. He said, how did you meet this girl? Find out they met him on Seeking Arrangement. And Seeking Arrangements is where you have these women. I think, Greg, you touched on it, but you have women seeking sugar daddies. And you have men seeking sugar mamas. It's a dating site where young women get on there and they trying to get rich, wealthy men who they bite it. They say, oh, man, she fine. You can live this lavish life with me. He didn't found a girl on there. She admitted that she didn't go on a date with him until he offered her to go on a date on a yacht. Mm-hmm. And she's on Seeking Arrangement saying all this stuff with a booty all on social media. He's like, oh, no, we're in a real relationship. And they just clowning him on that, dude. They just clowning him. They pulled a gun on another dude on one of their episodes. They pulled a gun out on dude and then said they didn't pull a gun. Alvin Preach got the video of the dude with the gun in his hand trying to pull a gun on people. They just had a girl pull a gun on somebody on DJ
Academics.
On DJ Academics, supposedly. I don't think she pulled it out, but she kind of went in her purse. But bro, it's a crap show, and they're just destroying young men's minds.
Yeah,
getting on that line to them. Talking about one dude say he slept with 1,000 women. Like, bro, it's bad, man. It's bad. And I know my audience probably don't know what Fresh and Fit is, but if you go and see them dudes, man, you'll see. Most of their views are just them arguing with hot women on the show. Some of them are kind of whack, they kind of look bad, but
I mean, and my thing is that none of the advice applies to like regular dudes, right? No. Like it's like you're not making most people that's watching the show, you're not making the type of money, and you don't have the network to actually have any of this advice be relevant, right? It's one thing if it was, people that was just, making, 6 figures, whatever, had a network. I think some more of the things they say will be relevant, especially considering the women they bring up there. They're all prostitutes, right? I mean, let's be real. They all sell their bodies on Instagram. It is what it is. And they try to sell that as if that's real life. And I think that's what, DJ Academics was talking about when it came to the whole, like, oh, you're talking about Miami, but your audience is not Miami. Your audience is the world, right? And you're trying to present what's going on in Miami as what's going on in the world. And that's not necessarily true.
Bro, they don't even know what's going. They ain't even really in it in Miami, bro. Like, I know dudes that got a lot of money. Fresh and Fit don't have a lot of money, right? They are young dudes that got successful on the podcast by having the business model is smart. They have a bunch of good-looking women who just left the club drinking. They love to chat. Bring them on, let them say outlandish stuff, and go viral. They don't got money like that. And women that date dudes with money know that they don't have money. Yeah. And so all this stuff they're saying is projecting talking points from a person that really got money and really are, affluent people that live that lifestyle. These dudes aren't doing that. It's impossible for you to go from, I would say it's impossible. I know YouTube, and I know that they ain't doing nothing else outside of YouTube.
The courses though.
And they ain't making no like, dude. Let me.
They selling $1,000 courses. I mean, that's kind of.
And they got 5 people on that thing, probably. But even if they had 50 people, that's $50,000. That's not to the average person. That's a lot of money. That ain't a lot of money in Miami.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, dudes are spending $50,000. I mean, dudes are spending $100,000 at the club.
Yeah, dude, it's nuts. It's nuts.
Dudes are spending. I looked at condos in my. I like looking everywhere and seeing the most extravagant stuff. Dude, $100,000 a month for beach condos and stuff in Miami. And I'm not talking about big ones. I'm talking about little ones on the beach. $100,000 a month, $200,000 a month. Dudes are paying that though. And you know,
yeah. I
would go chime in on this, man. If them guys get women like that, they would not have time to be doing what they're doing on YouTube. They'll be extremely busy. That's how you know it's fake, man. Because if you got game and you getting women like they say they get, the guys I seen where I grew up around in the PJs, they ain't had time to do no show and stuff to try to teach nobody. They were busy, man. They were in and out like this. They had women rotating like a revolving door. So nah, them dudes ain't getting it like that, man. They just trying to pay to play, man. You know, it's a perception thing. If I pay my way and make it look like I'm doing something, then everybody will follow, and then there we go. You know what I'm saying? They ain't real.
Look, you got money, you can get women. If you got money, you can pay them. They on secret arrangements, you know, so you can pay. You can pay to get a chick to go with you to dinner or something, and then you can take pictures and act like you got, and then you pay for another girl to come, and you're like, oh, I got a lot of girls. It's like, nah, you pay them to go to dinner with you, and they know what it is, and then they leave.
It is nothing even wrong. I don't think there's anything really wrong with that. It's just like, well, I mean, it's just the fact that you have to lie about it. I mean, like, I feel like, I mean, athletes pay, CEOs pay. I mean, like Kevin Samuels was saying, everybody pays in some way, right? Like, it just depends on how you define. Time is money, right? And I think that's what people who actually have money realize is that, you know, your time is worth something, right? So I mean,
I think the biggest criticism that they get now is that they tried to deplatform people, by striking their videos for copyright. And I've been preach. Give shout out to I've been preach. They posted the video of what YouTube sent to them. So pretty much what they did is that people hundreds of YouTubers are making a lot of money off of making videos about them, which is fine. Do your thing. You know, they make videos about them and they criticize them, which I think they should. And they are mad at the criticism. So they said on video, which is the dumbest thing they could have done, said that they're going to strike people who are criticizing them and have used their content. It's like, bro, you never heard of fair use? And then they go on, and I've been preached, they tried to strike their channel, which I don't understand what amount of crack you got to be smoking, thinking that you got 500,000 subscribers, you're going to strike a channel with 1.5 million subscribers. Yeah, that they got 600,000 views on every video they post, and the videos that they talk about I've been preached got millions of views, and they tried to do them. And what people don't understand is big channels have YouTube liaisons. So like my channel, I have a person I can contact on YouTube and say, hey, what's going on with the strike? You know, what's going on? And they ended up trying to strike I've been preached, like multiple videos, said that they use hours and hours of their content. And I've been preached showed the response from YouTube saying that YouTube is not going to take their videos down. They found that all of their videos that they post are within fair use policy. And then they showed the message that YouTube sent to sent to Fresh and Fit, and said, if you don't come up with if you don't give us a statement to explain why you strike them, within 7 days, your channel will be banned. If you play with YouTube policies and striking channels out of malice, they will take your entire channel down.
Oh yeah.
And so they are. I don't know if YouTube is going to be lenient with them, or is YouTube going to say no? You got to have a better explanation than that, because it appears that you abused our system. And they not only did I've been preached, they did like 4 or 5 other channels that are smaller that they thought that they can get them removed from the YouTube channel. So we'll see, man. Them dudes are fake, man. If you ever go and watch I've been preached, man, you got to understand. You got to take what they say with a grain of salt, bro.
Fresh and Fit.
Fresh and Fit. I said I've been preached. Let me fix that, because somebody gonna come back and say
they're gonna try to cut that up. Yeah,
they're gonna cut it up and say I've been preached. I like I've been preached. They cool, man. I watch their stuff all the time. I mean, Fresh and Fit, and they know who I'm talking about. You know, my brain is kind of foggy, so I may say the wrong thing every now and again. But correction, so they don't do me like they do Donald Trump. I'm talking about Fresh and Fit. I've been preached. They cool. I like them. So you can't strike people and think you're gonna get away with it.
But you know what? The funniest thing was when they tried to strike the lead attorney. Now, the lead attorney is an actual,
he's an actual attorney.
As a lawyer, like a for real lawyer, because they had Fresh and Fit, they had a team of lawyers do the striking.
It wasn't even lawyers. It was like
It's
some paralegal. Exactly.
It's paralegal, yeah. So the paralegal at the law firm was, communicating with YouTube. It's like, okay, you gonna have your paralegal and your YouTube account, and you're going up against a real deal lawyer, an actual lawyer.
Yeah.
Like the lawyer has paralegals that they tried to actually strike. So it was like you walking up the wrong tree. So these guys, they were trying to control the narrative. They ain't like negative comments, they ain't like criticism, but it's like, hey man, you on YouTube. You got to deal with it, man. You're going to get criticized. You can't be a public figure and not have any kind of criticism. That's completely ridiculous to think that way. That's with anybody in the public space.
But it's not even hurting them like that anymore. It's like the first time they got exposed, they lost a whole bunch of subscribers, whatever, right? But they gained them all back. And it's like all this other drama was going on with them. They still wasn't losing people. So at this point, like people are watching it for the entertainment, not even for the stuff they say, because any of the videos they make about finance or fitness, nobody watches that. like they all just watch the videos with the girls.
And the girls get kicked out. That's pretty much what they're going there for. They're not
so I don't even
intellectual content. Right.
Exactly. Like, what's the point of even trying to people just watching it because they want to see the women?
Right.
I'm gonna show the audience a little bit of what their page looked like so people can see what we're talking about. They used to get, dude, so many people come out and expose them. Like if you just Google search, I mean, if you look on YouTube, you got people that used to work with them say they lying. We used to supply all the women for them, and they used to pay us to supply the women because they said we don't pay these women to come on here. And the dude was like, no, they pay us to get the women on there. So technically they're paying for the women to be on there. They just don't pay the women directly.
We watch the same thing on YouTube. I feel like our YouTube history is probably very similar.
I know we go down because I watch all of your videos. So then I see your videos and I think it recommend me videos that you like and you watch, and then I go down the rabbit hole. I go down the rabbit hole with some of these people, especially at night, when my baby sleep, my wife sleep with the baby, and I'll be in there by myself. Like, I guess I play on my phone, and I'm in there going down the rabbit hole, bro. Rabbit hole, man. It make me smarter though, because I'm in there. I know everything going on.
Yeah, you learn.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot of stuff. So let me pull this up real quick. So this is their little site, but I put in Fresh and Fit. So this is not all their stuff. Some of these people are criticizing them. So if you just go through the Fresh and Fit stuff, and then they have these girls on there. If you can see, they have these girls, and that's what they post in the thumbnails. They post the girls that they got on there. So
thumbnails are crazy though, man. Good grief.
These little dirty men who can't help themselves. When they see this on YouTube, they want to know what's going on. They click on it. They click on. It's gonna give me an ad. Okay, they click on it.
Hey, what's up, guys?
And they see, a couple girls in there, and they like, what's she talking about? What they talking about? And then they watching them go down the rabbit hole. And it's the same thing with. I forget his name. What is his name, man? He's like the guru in this. We were just talking about it. Kevin Samuel.
Yeah.
It's just like Kevin Samuel, and I say it's different though because I feel like Kevin Samuel is actually a guru in his lane. These dudes are faking it till they make it. But the entertainment value is similar because these girls get on here and they drunk and they say crazy stuff, and half of them are losers, and they just berate them the whole time. And it's kind of entertaining to see men actually be able to fight back against these radical women who just think that men owe them everything. And so people like that entertainment value. Same thing with I forget his name. I just said his name. What's his name?
Kevin Samuels.
Same thing, Kevin Samuels. People just love to see him destroy women when they come on there. And I can't even watch. I agree with him and it's good, but I can't watch it. But they be the girl last night. I'm on the rabbit hole. I'm just clicking. I'm like, Kevin Samuels live. What are you talking about? He talking. He's got finished finishing up somebody that was off the screen. Then this girl jumps on the screen. Instantly, I could tell she's at a strip club.
Oh wow! No, wait. She was in the strip club on the show.
She worked in the strip club. So I've been to, and I'm not saying personally because I've never been in the back personally, but I had to arrest people in the back of the strip club.
Well,
so I know what
the lockers and everything. Yeah.
I know what the lockers look like.
I know that Players Club like, diamond fight. You know that little scene.
Yeah. I actually had to slam a girl in the back of the strip club when I was a cop. It was not pretty. She wouldn't put her clothes on. We say she was there drinking. They say you can't drink while you dancing or something. And then they actually leave and she refused. So she was technically trespassing her own job. we go back there, all the girls leave, and they all nasty, you know. So don't anybody think about going to one of these places. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
It ain't the movies. These girls nasty, bullet holes in their legs and all kind of stuff. So she comes to the front, and we like, get out of there. You got to go. She just refused to put her clothes on. So we had to, arrest her. We couldn't just let her stay in there all night. And then she fell right on the nose. Pow.
Wow.
And then we had to corral her out of there. 6-7 hours, had to hold her like a hog and carry her out of the strip club. And people still at the strip club. Nobody missed a beat. The girls still, they came back to the locker room. But anyway, it's nasty up in that joint. But this girl pops up on the live stream instantly. I'm like, she got all this makeup on. Her lips is this big. And I saw the lockers and I said, God, don't tell me this girl is at the strip club and she finna argue with Kevin Samuel. This is finna be entertaining. She said, I'm a 10. I'm the diamond in the rough. Like, men don't, like, I'm overqualified.
It's like, man, you have your belongings in a baby locker in the strip club right now.
You in the strip club at work talking about you overqualified for a high value man. And I couldn't even watch it because it was about to be Mike Tyson beat down. Because she really believed that she was qualified. And he was methodically going through and saying, how old are you? How many kids you have? And I said, oh, it's finna go real bad. But the entertainment value is what I'm alluding to. It's entertaining to watch people take an L to people who know what they're talking about. It's entertainment on this side to watch these women argue with each other and, late night drunks, or whatever. But it doesn't add real value. People need to be able to determine between entertainment and real life advice. And that's what I would say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I agree
so,
too.
All right, so we've been on about hour 30. I've been having a long week, man. Unless some of y'all got something else to say, we could wrap it up on this one. Anything else to add? All right, man. Y'all.
I say something, man. I say something.
All right.
First of all, man, it's been an honor to be on the show, man. I've been following you for almost 2 years now. Like I said, you're one of the first people that inspired me, along with Greg and ABL. And I remember I called it on your show. I told you, I said, hey, when I first heard you, at first, you made me mad. I ain't gonna lie, Officer Tatum, because I was still woke. Man, you told me when you was bringing out some of the things we need to do to better ourselves as as Americans, especially as Black Americans. I was like, oh man, I don't like this dude. He's fake. And then I was talking to one of my good friends. A shout out to my boy Tom. Tom was like, man, you need to listen to him again. Listen to Brandon again. You just getting into your feelings. Take the feelings out of it and listen to Brandon. I said, all right, I'll give him a shot, man. And he said, and by the way, listen to ABL. I like, all right. And this before I even thought about doing a YouTube channel. And I just started listening to you guys. I was like, wait a minute, he making sense. And then that's when I discovered Greg. And before I know it, here I am doing YouTube videos, and here I am on your show. So yeah, I'm completely honored, man. I hope that we all get to collaborate more often, man. I really, like I said, man, I really feel like you're like a long lost family I never had. So I think I did pretty good for myself, being a recovering pill addict, being clean for 6 years, and this is where I'm at. So I appreciate y'all.
Man. And we support you, man, 100%. That's why I have you on my show. Like, I don't feel like you got to be some dude with all this clout to be on my show. I support people that I think are good people who have a lot of good things to say. Like Greg, like I watch his channel all the time. I watch ABL all the time. And like, I think that you guys add value. And even though I have more subscribers on my channel, it's no less of content. Like, it's just a matter of time before Greg content is millions, and ABL is this close. That's why y'all need to, if you watching this, you need to go subscribe to ABL. Most of y'all probably are, but if you ain't, you need to go subscribe to ABL, subscribe to Greg at Black Conservative Perspective, and subscribe to Joel as well. And Joel, I'm gonna start with you, and then I'm gonna run the table around. I'll finish with you, ABL. Where can people find you to follow you? If you got merch, if you got other stuff you're doing, how can they find you?
Oh man, well, first of all, I got 3 channels on YouTube right now.
Boy, you better work on one of them. No, I'm just kidding.
That's actually real talk.
I do. I got a backup, and I got a sports channel. So anyway, I got Joel Davis Media Network. That's my main channel. It's like a brand channel. And we have All American Sports Network. You can follow that too. We talk about sports that's unbiased and no politics in it. And we also have Joel's Crime Stories, where we talk about crime that nobody don't want to talk about that's going on and everything else. And you can also find me on Twitter, J News and Views, Rumble, J News and Views, and on Instagram, which is Joel_Davis_media_network. So yeah, I do this full time.
Perfect. Good. Greg, where can they find you at, man?
Yeah, so you can find me at Black Conservative Perspective on YouTube, on Twitter, G Foreman BCP, on Instagram, G Foreman BCP. Probably gonna end up getting on the Rumble. Technically, I do have a Rumble account. I just don't use it. But you know, it seems like with YouTube and whatnot, it might be smart to hop on that. But yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah. ABL, where can they find you at, ABL?
All right, the best place right here on YouTube. Just search ABL. I got a nice search engine optimized. Search ABL on YouTube. There you go. You find me right here. I'm the first result. Also, go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. I got my email, my snail mail, all my social media accounts, my Twitter, my Facebook, Instagram, all that's on there. And for every video I upload, I write an article. So nobody can say that I just make stuff up. For each article, I got sources from all over the place. So check me out on the website, and also go to ablmerch.com to get hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more. And that's all I got.
Perfect. And y'all, most of y'all are my followers anyway. I would say followers. People subscribe to my channel. You listen to my content. You family. But if it's your first time watching, you know, make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the channel, follow everybody on here. Also, you can join the Tatum Squad. You get the little if you see people with these cool emojis, you can do that and join the Tatum Squad. That's about it. My book, Beating Black and Blue, is out. It's doing really well so far. I wanted to do even better. ABL got it in the background. Look at that. See, that's why all the love.
Yeah,
I got on Audible too, man, and I gave you a 5-star review. So
appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Greg, you better get you a book, man. No, I'm just messing with you. I'll send you one, Greg. But anyway, man, I appreciate y'all coming on, brothers. We got to do this more often. Collab. I wasn't able to make it on yours, Joel. Literally, we get to the hotel, and I'm in the hotel with my baby and my wife. And that little thing didn't want to take a nap. He didn't want to go to sleep. He didn't want to do nothing but scream. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get on this boy's show with my son screaming like that. And so I apologize. But we'll connect. We'll all stay connected. And you know, Greg, if you have live streams, man, let me know, man. I'd love to jump on there. ABL, I'll call in on your live stream one of these times. So, but I appreciate y'all. Every Thursday we have a panel. I'm gonna pull you guys out, stay in the background, and I'm gonna come and finish talking to you guys after I close it out. So I appreciate you being on, Joe. Appreciate you, Greg. Appreciate you, ABL. I love you guys. I appreciate you. It was a little shorter this week. You know, there's a reasons why. To a certain degree, I can't talk for that long. Lately, I haven't been able to talk for that long, so it's probably too much stress. But anyway, I love you guys. I appreciate you. Every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. Arizona time. Figure out your own time zone, but Arizona never changed the time zone. We stay in the same. Well, we do change time zones, but we never change our time. So I think we're on Mountain Standard Time. So 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I think that'll make it 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern. Yeah, 2-hour difference. So, but anyway, I appreciate you guys. Love you. I'll see y'all in the next live stream. I'm out.